What's up guys, Wavy here, and today I have a project that's kind of been on and off for a couple months now, and a week ago I actually finally got around to finishing it. As you can see here, I finished 5 new figures for the 2012 film Avengers. After seeing Infinity War, I really wanted to go back and make the original Avengers from 2012. I thought it'd be cool. Plus, in Avengers 4, they're kind of revisiting the first film, so might as well get ahead of the bandwagon. But, yeah, that's about it for these figures, so they're simple enough to make, so let's take a closer look. So first off, let's start with Captain America. I know a lot of people don't like this suit from the Avengers. Personally, I don't mind it. I kind of like the comic book look to it, but I know a lot of you guys don't. So to start off with the helmet was actually Catwoman from the Lego Batman movie. I cut off the ears, sanded down the goggles, and had to reshape the eye sockets with Procreate. And then I just painted it blue, painted on the A and the wings. The torso, this part, the chest is E-tape, as well as the belt and the gloves, and the pouches are dry sculpted. That's about it. Everything else is painted, and the shield was actually one of those crappy old red shields like that, and I ended up just repainting it. So I recolored it with dark red, metallic white, and metallic blue. My Black Widow figure is somewhat inspired by Dylan, TheMooseFigs version. He made his about a week before I started on mine, so I'll leave a link to his stuff down in the description. The main thing I really liked on his was the hairpiece, which I was actually going to just use the regular Lego Black Widow hairpiece, but this one actually matches her hairstyle more in the first Avengers film. So to start off, the head was completely painted by me. I'm really happy with the likeness I got to Scarlett Johansson on it. So there's that. I'm trying to adjust the lighting so you can kind of see it a bit better there. For the torso, I ended up sculpting the chest and then putting a little line down the middle for the zipper. I used E-tape for both belts, the one on her hips, the one on her waist, and then the different straps on her legs. Also, I used E-tape for the little gauntlets around her arms on the side there, which those were really hard to cut out and glue on and paint, by the way. The Black Widow logo on the front here is actually a piece of cardstock. And I think the rest of everything is just painted. I don't know what guns these are. I bought them off of Brick Arms, but yeah. I think my favorite part of this figure is actually the shield logos on the shoulders, which took me a while to do, but I'm actually really happy with how they turned out. Of all figures, Thor was actually simpler than I thought he would be. Starting with Mjolnir, I cut off the handle and replaced it with a brown one, just to make it a bit more accurate, and then added an E-tape strap to the bottom because his hammer has a strap on it. So yeah, I layered the torso in E-tape and for the different shapes of his suit underneath. For all the metal parts, I actually painted them gunmetal, including Mjolnir, painted them gunmetal and dry brushed them in silver to kind of give them that metallic-y kind of look. On the legs, I used a piece of fabric here for his little waist cape that he has, and then used E-tape for the belt and cardstock for the little pointy things on his sides there. I also used E-tape for his gauntlets on these arms. Like I said, I sculpted them, which I'm actually really happy with. And I'm also really happy with the head on this one. I just used the original Avengers Thor head because I think it works, and just the hairpiece they used, and I just did some blending with some tan, brown, and yellow. I'm actually super happy with how the texturing came out, because if you look at the beard, there's actually some texturing there, which was unintentional at first, but I'm actually really happy with how it came out on the beard there, because it kind of looks realistic. For Iron Man, I didn't just want to make another generic Iron Man suit, so after seeing DaLastPrime's Mark 42 suit, I decided to make the figure battle damage, because that's what he did with his. I sculpted minimal detail onto the arms and legs. I sculpted the gold bits on the front of the arms, as well as the gauntlets around the wrists. And then on the legs, I sculpted the boots, and then the little gunmetal parts on the front of the legs. I also used an Amazing Armory torso piece for the armor. I know what most of you are thinking is, where can I buy that? I get the question a lot on my posts, a lot of DMs, about where did I get this armor piece. It looks really good. But sadly, you can't actually buy it anymore. They don't sell it anymore. They don't make the casts, so you're out of luck. And I know that a lot of people give MGF a lot of slack for using it, but personally, I like the use of it on older model armors, like the Mark 7 and before. Definitely would not use it on anything the Mark 42 and up, like Ross did, so that's kind of where I would differentiate myself, because I think it works good for the Mark 7, mainly because it's made for the Mark 7, but it's also that suit was kind of bulkier. I painted all the detail you see on it, so all the detail on the legs, the gold detail, and the black lines all around the sides of the legs, the back of the legs, all the gold, silver, and gunmetal parts, all painted by me, which, trust me, took a good while. I then added a black wash onto everything, and then some gunmetal dry brushing for the kind of scraped away parts of the metal, especially around the arc reactor, which I really like how that turned out. And I also just used an original Tony head, because why not? The last of the newer figures that I made for this showcase was Hawkeye, who was simple enough. I finished him in a couple hours. The head was painted by me, and it's honestly one of my favorite likenesses I've made yet, to Jeremy Renner. Basically what I did was just repaint my Civil War Hawkeye head, just minus the facial hair. But I didn't really like how high up the mouth was on this one, so I ended up moving it down, and I think that the likeness turned out pretty good. The torso, just like Cap, has E-tape layering, so this part is one layer, and then the top chest part is another layer. I also did use E-tape for his straps on his legs here. The quiver is actually just a Lego quiver, and I just sanded off the detail because there's the little like X markings down it, which I just really didn't like, and so I just sanded those all off and glued the quiver on, and then painted the tips gunmetal. And then the bow, I just stole it from my Civil War Hawkeye. So yeah, that's Hawkeye. I don't know why, I just really like how this figure turned out. I really like how it looks, despite it being like the simplest figure ever. I'm not going to say too much about Hulk. It's just my Infinity War version of Hulk with the magnetic ball joint arms. I couldn't justify making another Hulk figure when the only difference was like the color of his pants and the fact that I probably wouldn't have sanded down the sides of his hair. That's literally all there is to it. Like I said, I just really didn't want to make a new one. If you want to see more detail about this figure, go check out my Infinity War showcase. I'll leave a link to that in the description. So that's going to be it for this showcase, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please be sure to leave a like, as well as subscribe if you haven't already. I release new videos every Wednesday and Friday, so stick around for those, and please comment what figures you want to see showcased next, or what tutorials you might want to see me do. Be sure to follow me on all my social media down below, where I get around to posting the figures way before I post them on YouTube, and also be sure to click on the top box if you want to watch a playlist of my custom LEGO showcases, or the box on the bottom if you want to watch my most recent video. So, that's it for now, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.